Rachel Nichols, alongside, six-time champion Scottie Pippen. But you may also see on set Hall of Famer and star of our latest ESPN Films 30 for 30, Rodman, for better or worse, Mr. Dennis Rodman. Welcome. I am so thrilled to have you guys here. First of all, you got to show off why you're wearing this jersey. Can you stand up for a minute and show everyone something?
You're representing the USA.
That's not only who he's representing.
Go USA.
There we go. Thank you very much.
That is my guy.
Right
That is
here.
my guy.
That is love. Part of this, I saw you just do an interview in press for this 30 for 30. You said you think the best 1-2 punch in basketball ever, from the beginning to up to including now, was this man and Michael.
Oh, man, come on. Have they seen the videos of these guys, man, over the last 20 years? I mean, Scottie, I got to give him praise.
Absolutely.
No matter what, they want to talk about the first year that we pretty much hooked up. I think it was at 87, 88. And I guess it was the championship game. And the one thing they came out and said, well, Scottie is not feeling too well. He has migraine headaches. I'm like, I don't even think about that, They thought this way, well, Dennis Rodman, you're playing too much defense on his ass. I'm like, no. Yeah, I think it was just our turn to be the dominant force in the NBA. But once these guys got on the road, yeah, they kicked our ass pretty much. We weren't the bad boys then.
Well, look, if you can't beat them, you join them.
Right,
and that's really special for me. I love that the two of you are here together. It's really nice for me, too. I was a college intern at the Chicago Sun-Times. I was 19 years old when I first met these guys during that second three-peat. And Dennis and I were talking in the green room before the show. These guys talked to me like I was a real person, not just a 19-year-old girl and all of that. And the respect you guys showed me helped me feel like this was a job I could do. So it meant so much to me to have you guys together here. It always means so much to me to have Scottie here with us, to be able to revive and talk about some of those old times, which we're going to do throughout this show. It's going to be so much fun. Buckle up. Stay with us. Coming up, we're also going to talk a little general NBA, because I'm going to ask Scottie and Dennis about their reaction to telling WSJ Magazine that some days he hates the circus of the NBA. I can tell you about circus when these guys were going around in '98, but we'll talk about that. First, though, let's go back to the film Rodman, for Better or Worse, which debuts tonight on ESPN, 9 o'clock Eastern. Set every alarm you have, because this is so good. Dennis, what motivated you to tell this story through the vision of director Todd Capostasi and the voice of Jamie Foxx?
Really have no clue. I thought people knew a lot about me over the course of the years and stuff like that. It's more than just a documentary. It's more to show people that I'm just not an entertainer. I'm just not what they call me back then, a circus clown or just a cartoon. I'm more than that. I'm more of like an individual that was pretty much didn't have any motivation to be in certain situations. I think that sport has given me an avenue to show people that I am something different than being, homeless, living in the projects. I had a purpose in life, and I think people gonna see in the beginning that there was no purpose, and then as things start to progress, things start to happen for me. A lot of things start to happen after certain things that took place. But this documentary is so different than any documentary for sports. It's going to touch a lot of people, especially with the generation today. It's going to touch a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much you learn in this documentary about you. You touch on being homeless. I didn't know that you were homeless for 2 years after junior college, right? Before, right? So this was 19 years old, that kind of thing. Your mama kicked you out of the house. You were living on the street with a garbage bag. And that you didn't know your father. I knew that you hadn't known your father until the late 90s.
What do you think, Scottie?
Right?
You've seen those days back in Arkansas?
Arkansas, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
Right?
I followed Dennis' career, and I think he was one of the guys that kind of helped motivate me coming from a small school and knowing that I could make it to the NBA. He came out of Southeast Oklahoma, great rebounder, and I followed him and realized then that I had an opportunity to play at the next level just because of his hard work and his hunger and his journey that he had been through.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny to see that journey go through the bad boys once we see you in this documentary, because the bad boys to us were like, oh, he fit in great with the bad boys. But I want to know how the guy I then saw at the beginning of this documentary, who was shy, right? Who didn't have anything, How did you fit in with the bad boy Pistons?
Well, Scottie was shy when he came out the NBA. I mean, out of college,
Yeah.
right? He wasn't that really,
Yeah, I was a little shy, but I think how this guy really fitted in with the bad boys is because he was a winner. He was a leader, and his basketball IQ is off the charts. And I had an opportunity to experience that playing alongside him. Everyone knows that, he was, a part of a great team, but they didn't realize how great a rebounder Dennis was when he was with the bad boys.
Right.
I didn't know either.
And, so a lot of his individual skills never really stood out. But, when he was able to come and join us with the Chicago Bulls, we not only got the greatest rebounder of all time, but we got a basketball player that had a very high basketball IQ, and he knew how to win. It wasn't about just the leaders in Detroit, but they had a great piece here. A guy that was hungry and wanted to be known at the end of the day, as we know now.
By the way, he just casually dropped that greatest rebounder of all time. He calls you the GROAT, right?
The GROAT?
The GROAT.
Yeah,
The GROAT. Pretty good. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.